Like say Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if he stayed 8 years old all his life, would he be the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Habib of Allah, if he didn't go through the trials and tribulations and everything else that he went through? Would any of the prophets be who they are if they hadn't lived that? So through living that, through putting the seed in through chemical reactions, the seed comes into existence through hardship and stuff, right? The human being is all created, all of mankind is created in the seed form of being perfect, reaching such a level from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high, which Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went, ascending all the way to see the vision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. You see the different levels of mankind. So how do these potentialities that are present within mankind, how do they flourish? How do they come into existence? And how do they elevate? That's the question. If it was not for the realm of examination and trial and that of this world, then those potentialities would never come about. If those potentialities didn't come about, then what would be the significance of mankind's existence? Zero. There would be no significance, no preciousness. The preciousness of mankind is the struggle, is the stress, is all the going through all the problems and all the stress of the world. And it's like a difference between the coal and the diamond, right? So the coal, they go through something like 20 or 30 tons, right? 20 or 30 tons of dirt is being excavated to find a small diamond. You see that? But in its character, truly, right? In its character, coal and diamond are the same element.
Carbon.
They're both carbon. But one, under such hardship and that, right, under intensity, has become, under pressure and that, has become a diamond, and the other one has stayed as coal. So people sift through all that to find a small diamond. So it's not the quantity, obviously, it's the quality of the thing that is being sourced. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his grand master plan says to himself, I'm going to create a man called Adam alayhi salam. Adam is going to commit sin because I have made him in a nature to produce this sin. So he saw his weakness. Knowing his weakness, he still gave him the exam. But knowing that he's going to fail this exam, as a result of the failure of the exam, that and the struggle through this exam, that all of this humanity is going to come into existence. 6 billion people today. 100 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 billion people, and 100 years ago, and 100 years ago, you go back to so many different variety, myriad types of people come into existence. Now all these people come into existence, all have a potential to be perfect. But for them to be perfect, they have to come through the struggles and tests and examinations and tribulations of this world. And if they don't go through that, then they stay, let's say, Adam alayhi salam didn't commit the sin. Then we all would have stayed in potential to be perfect. We'll never be perfect, but then we will all remain the same. Then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was the highest of the high in terms of the most elevated in spirit of character of his existence, would be in the same category as Firaun's Hasha astaghfirullah. Same category, because for them to be able to be sieved out, there has to be a trial and examination arena. And that's why Adam alayhi salam had to have committed the sin, so that the seed-like potentialities of the greatness, potential of this greatness of mankind can come into existence, can flourish, and can be who he is. And that is how human being becomes a true human being, and through Iman gains the highest of the as a level, which is the highest of the high, and through kufr, which is the opposite of belief, which is non-belief, he falls to the lowest of the low, because he or she chooses not to struggle. Chooses not to struggle within the bounds of this examination. That was a good answer, Brother Riaz. Assalamu alaikum.